This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. It's a new month, which means automakers will report October sales over the next few days. So far, we only have Hyundai and Kia's numbers, but both set October records. Hyundai's sales in the U.S. were up 18% to nearly 72,000 vehicles, and Kia sales were up 16% to about 69,000 units. Big gains from electrics and hybrids drove that growth. We'll have a clearer picture of the U.S. market next week when more automakers report their sales. But October is expected to be a good month. According to estimates from the major data firms, U.S. sales are expected to increase as much as 11%, and the seasonally adjusted annual rate, or SAAR, is expected to come in between 15.8 and 16.1 million units, about the same as September, but ahead of last year's 15.65 million SAAR. BYD just set an all-time sales record. It sold a little over 500,000 vehicles in October, which is more than 80,000 units more than the previous month and nearly 200,000 vehicles more than last October. PHEVs, including extended range electrics, passed BEVs in sales in February and accounted for over 60% of all of BYD's vehicles sold last month. For the year, the company has sold a little over 3.2 million vehicles, which is already about 200,000 units more than last year's total when it ranked 9th in worldwide sales. At the end of this year, BYD should move up to 8th and will probably put a lot of pressure on Ford and Honda. And it wasn't just BYD that had a good sales month in China. A number of automakers recorded solid increases. But we're going to shine a little extra light on Leapmotor because it just started launching models in Europe with the help of its new partner, Stellantis. Leapmotor delivered over 38,000 vehicles in October, which is not a massive number, but it's a record for the company and a nearly 110% increase over last year. And we'll be interested to see how that partnership with Stellantis will continue to impact sales. Volkswagen, as you know, is going through a really rough time. Most of the focus has been on the VW brand itself, but we dug deeper in the latest financial earnings show that the problems run throughout the company. VW's Progressive Group, which includes Audi, Bentley, Lamborghini, and Ducati, saw its profits drop more than 54% so far this year. The Sport Luxury Group, which only includes Porsche, saw its profits drop 28%, and Cariad, the software group that has stumbled so badly, has lost 2 billion euros compared to a loss of 1.7 billion at this time last year. The only bright spot at VW is Traton, the heavy truck manufacturer that also owns Navistar. It generated 3 billion euros in profits this year, up 16%. In fact, Traton is now more profitable than Audi, Bentley, Lamborghini, and Ducati put together. And that shows just how serious the problems are at VW. And we've been wondering how VW could justify building a new assembly plant in the United States for Scout at the same time it's talking about closing 3 assembly plants in Germany. But Automotive News reports that the Scout plant could also be a contract manufacturing facility to make vehicles for both Audi and Volkswagen and other car companies. And it could also manufacture aftermarket accessories. If that plant did make vehicles for other car companies, it would help Scout's claim that it's independent from Volkswagen. And that's an important point because Scout wants to sell its vehicles directly to consumers. And if a car company has used franchise dealers in the past, it cannot legally drop them to sell cars direct. VW's dealers are really mad about Scout's plans, and the NADA, the National Auto Dealers Association, is already preparing a legal strategy to oppose it, possibly with lawsuits filed in every one of the 50 states.
Developing today's vehicles. Issues can happen in an instant. When's the best time to solve a problem? The minute you know you have one. Meet Wireless Neo Cloud, your secure, off-the-shelf solution empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With wireless Neovi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless Neovi Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Last month, Ford told its EV customers to stop using a complimentary NACS to CCS connector that it provided because of a potential issue that could cause reduced charging speeds or even damage to the charging port. That adapter was supplied by Tesla. So, to help customers get back access to Tesla's supercharger network, Ford partnered with Lectron to also supply it with NACS adapters and is now shipping that new connector to customers across the U.S. It's free for those who already qualified to receive the complimentary adapter. Customers who weren't eligible can purchase it from Ford for $200. GM announced a partnership with Walmart to supply it with fully electric Brightdrop vans. These are the shorter wheelbase Brightdrop 400 vans, which will be used to deliver goods to Walmart customers. They don't say how many Walmart is going to buy, but it's going to deploy a fleet of them in Austin, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, Northwest Arkansas, Orlando, and the San Francisco Bay Area by the end of the year. Used car retailer Carvana has seen quite the turnaround in the last couple of years. In late 2022, it was on the brink of bankruptcy, but resorted to an aggressive cost-cutting plan that trimmed over $1 billion from its expenses, and it's really paid off. In the third quarter, it sold over 108,500 vehicles, which is up 34% from last year and a more than 7% growth from Q2. That's driving up income and revenue, which is driving investors to the company. Its stock is trading at roughly $250 a share, a more than 400% increase so far this year, and a whopping 7,000% jump from that low point in late 2022. Ampere, the in-house EV startup at Renault, is making some pretty impressive claims thanks to what it learned working with a team in China. It expects to cut the cost of C-segment EVs by 40% by 2028 by using cobalt-free LFP batteries and cell-to-pack battery design. It plans to have Europe's first SDV, or software-defined vehicle, by 2026, and it says the new Renault Twingo was fully developed in less than 2 years, which means it shaved at least a year off of Renault's typical product development time. Ampere is also supplying Alpine, Nissan, and Mitsubishi with its tech stack. And while it canceled its plans to do an IPO earlier this year, if it can deliver on these targets, maybe the financial markets will be more interested in seeing it going public. Yesterday, Toyota showed off a convertible concept of the 4Runner at SEMA, and now it unveiled an open-top concept of the Land Cruiser. It's called the Land Cruiser ROX, or ROX, which stands for Recreation Open Experience. It's based on the 2024 model, and 50% of the SUV had to be reinvented or fabricated. It features skeleton doors with open upper and lower sections, a retractable soft top, and a midgate that opens the cabin to the bed for access to the integrated tailgate seating and extra storage. To make it more off-road capable, the ROX includes a customized independent suspension from TRD, a 4-inch lift kit, and an 8-inch wider track. Infiniti also showed off a concept at SEMA aimed at tailgaters who want a more luxurious experience. It's a modified version of its QX80 SUV called the Autograph Lounge. It features a big screen TV and a custom sound system, and the cargo area also comes with custom leather-wrapped slide-out drawers to store tailgate items. But that brings us to the end of today's show and this week. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you have a great weekend.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering boost your game. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
Making a life full of memories, one road trip at a time. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Weather Peak Tires, with a 70,000-mile limited warranty.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Teijin Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.
Wards is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details, and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.